Manchester United Football Club, a club of prestige, history, and trophies. There are many football legends that can be traced back to United, such as our GOAT, Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro. However, the Man United of today is a shadow of his former self, and also tends to ruin players. Today we're going to explore some players who left Man United and what happened to them after. Now our first player is none other than the mighty Onana. I don't even know where to begin with this guy, but I think we all know his history at the club. When Onana was at Inter, he was part of a side that made it to the UCL final and was crucial for them. So when Man United signed this guy as De Gea's replacement, they were sure they filled a hole in their squad. I can't even blame them. He was cooking a little bit in the beginning. That penalty save versus Copenhagen, if you know, you know. That was just a needle in a haystack moment, because the average Onana performance looked like this. This guy wasn't getting any help from English media either. They were slaughtering him. Former Man United player Nemanja Matic called him the worst goalkeeper in the club's history in April of this year. Wow. And it's weird because statistically, Onana makes the most saves per game according to this table by BBC using data from Opta. But he does also concede goals the fastest, and his errors are definitely prominent. So when this guy went to Turkey on loan this month, I didn't expect much. I thought that was probably the beginning of the end for Onana. We all thought Onana was cooked. But then somehow, this guy goes and gets man of the match. First game in Turkey. Then the next game, he gets a mean assist. All of a sudden, Onana's a little bit decent at football. This is what I'd like to call the leaving Man United effect, and it isn't isolated to just Onana. Let's go into the next player. Let's talk about the one and only Ante, the GOAT of football. When he raises his eyebrow, everyone quakes in fear. But seriously, I really don't think I have to say much. It's been almost 3 years now since Anthony was signed from Ajax, and man, he was bad. Genuinely, if you've seen this video about footballers with no IQ by Basic Footy, Anthony honestly could have been snuck in. He also had bad confidence. Every once in a while, he would score a banger, but most of the time, this guy was a ghost, or just didn't even play. But then in January of this year, he went on loan to Betis and became a baller. On his debut, he created the first goal in a 2-2 draw and was named man of the match, Anthony. And then he kept scoring bangers for Betis, like consistent. Anthony was the opposite of consistent for 3 years, and then all of a sudden he goes to Betis and he's a baller. We love to see it, man. I know he was punching the air when he got a permanent transfer from United this month to Betis, but this is another example of the leaving United effect. Let's move on to the next player, Jadon Sancho. Wowzers. Honestly, this one could be a little controversial because you could argue he hasn't really lived up to his full potential after leaving, like stats wise, but hear me out. Every single loan spell he has works out well for him. At Dortmund, he was starting and playing almost a full 90 and completed a copious amount of dribbles, like 12 apparently against PSG. That's kind of crazy. Then he went on loan to Chelsea and got man of the match on his debut. From there, this guy started farming assists and scoring bangers, and he even won a trophy at Chelsea. It makes me think, is it crazy to say that Sancho's living up to the old hype? He's cooking, bro, and his goals were in pretty important matches. This month, he went on loan to Aston Villa, and I wouldn't be surprised if he starts cooking over there too. I don't know a lot about tactics, to be honest, but I do know he is a baller. Let's move to our final player. Now, our final player is none other than Marcus Rashford, the star boy who's really a star man since he's like 28 now. But hey, this guy is a little different from the others on the list. He's been at United since he was a youth, a kid, a small pikin, whatever you want to call him. Hype has surrounded this guy for a while, man, and occasionally he would live up to it, but that's the thing, occasionally. I remember that 22-23 season when he was just scoring goals for fun in the second half of the season, and one of them was a pretty good goal against Arsenal. I'm not gonna lie. He scored 30 goals that season in all competitions and got like a bunch of assists. But the seasons after that, this guy disappeared, bro. Form-wise and physically, like he was not playing in the field. Come to find out, he disappeared because he was itching to leave United, and he ended up doing it. And he left on loan to Aston Villa in February this year. That ended up being a great decision because he scored and assisted in some pretty important games for Aston Villa, like the UCL. Then he went on loan again to Barca in July, and he's been cooking since. On his UCL debut for the club a few weeks ago, he scored 2 goals and a 2-1 win. They were bangers. You see the force behind that strike. He shot that ball with emotion and passion, bro. Like, he was definitely imagining Erik ten Hag is behind the net. It's like those TikToks where they say this guy had to go. But anyways, Rashford has been cooking at Barca, and he's there for the rest of the season. So we can expect a lot from the star man. But that is all I have for you today regarding the leaving Man United effect. If you believe in this effect, comment Trash United. Sorry I haven't been super consistent to those who are following me, and join the Discord in the description. Peace.